Hi everyone, this is Stacy in Japan. Wagwan Madoops, yeah? Big up to all the Jamaicans. Alright, now I'm going to be talking about a topic that is kind of close to me, even though I've only been here for like 5 months now. Some realities are really beginning to sink in, and I'm going to share some of them with you. Okay, so the first thing that I'm really being forced to embrace, even though I actually knew before I came to Japan, is that Japan is not an English speaking country. Like, seriously. They don't even regularly use romanized letters. No, it's all about the kana, hiragana, and katakana. Oh my goodness. Breathe, Stacy, breathe. Everywhere you turn, once you leave your apartment, you are bombarded by Japanese everywhere, and even in your mailbox. Yes, letters, bills are all coming in Japanese. Please do not get overwhelmed by this, but just try and pace yourself and study and learn Japanese as much as you can. Okay, so now, because Japan is not an English speaking country and is nothing close to what we are used to, especially if we are Westerners, let me put it that way. Yes, it's not anything that we're used to. So once you're placed in the countryside, especially, do not expect to find anyone who actually speaks English. If you do find someone who speaks English, they barely understand English. And so you have to be communicating very slowly, trying to break everything down to very basic English, using a lot of gestures. Yes, it can take a toll on you, but it's very important for you to accept and embrace this fact, because if you're coming here to teach English, chances are you're going to end up in the countryside. Yay! So even those who actually speak English and seem to understand English are not able to readily translate for you things from Japanese to English. Why? Because there isn't really like a direct translation per se. Things are like, kind of phrase, particular sayings and so on, with no direct translation. So that is something that you have to try and get used to, but one step at a time is the best way to go. Okay, so if you live in the rural area also, you may find yourself surrounded by a lot of farms, a lot of more conservative Japanese people, more elderly persons. And this is talking from my experience. A lot of very reserved Japanese are living in my area. If you see anyone who is kind of out there, chances are they are foreigners, so just look out for that. I personally don't mind, but you're trying to be friendly, but then you don't speak Japanese. It makes it really challenging. So it's one of the things that I have to, really kind of embrace right now. Okay, this one has been rocking my nerves from I understood it. There is no such thing as free parking in Japan. You have to pay to park. Yes, if you're coming from Jamaica, we don't pay to park. Let me qualify it. Let me not be unreasonable. Okay, if you're going to a combini or supermarket, combini is like convenience store, or a pharmacy, or one of those big organizations, they may have parking. Okay, they may facilitate parking, but for your apartment, you have to pay for that parking space. If you go into any major city, chances are you have to pay for parking, because in the city, the major cities especially, they have very limited space. Buildings are huge, like literally almost touching each other. it's really crazy in the cities. So parking is usually charged, yes, not free. And so a lot of persons actually either ride their bikes or take the train, so they don't have to deal with parking, because it can also be very expensive, very, very expensive. Okay, yes. So past that stage right now. I mentioned before in another video that Japan is not really a Christian country. They are not a Christian country. They are originally Buddhist. Yes, so when somebody sneezes and you say, oh, God bless you or bless you, they don't have a clue what that means. They don't even know what the word Christian really means. I don't even think some of the Christians who are Christians and Japanese actually know what being a Christian means, or, you know, because some of the practices of Buddhism are intertwined with their culture, so they practice them. Like I had an experience with obong. Can't really explain it, but it's a Buddhist tradition which is a part of the Japanese culture. You know, and sees persons visiting the gravesites of loved ones, family members, and during obong they put whether beer or sake, which is rice wine, at the graveside, because the family member is supposed to come and have a sip or two, you know. Yes, because they're going to be thirsty. Yay. So these are some of the things, the cultural differences that I am trying to get used to, trying to understand. Okay, now if you are coming to Japan, soy sauce, green tea, must. They are a must in Japan. Not that you personally have to have them, but every turn you turn, you are going to see soy sauce and green tea. Soy sauce especially because Japanese food is not like flavored as we are used to in Jamaica. So it's like soy sauce always have to serve with whatever food them have, you know, unless it's some kind of stew or curry thing where them have. But soy sauce and green tea, yeah, always on the list in Japan. Always on the list. All right. Now, in Japan, it's very congested. So it's not uncommon to find, you know, your home or your community next door to a very industrialized organization or complex. Like, seriously. So look out for that, you know. Inside shoes, outside shoes. Yeah, you get used to it. Get used to it, you know. Practice from your yard. Well, what I mean by practice from your yard, like when you come here, or even before you come here, it would be a good idea. When you come here, try and respect the culture, you know, and do it in your apartment also, because when you go to work or to school, you have to do the same thing, you know, change from inside shoes to outside shoes to inside shoes, and them kind of thing there. So get used to it, all right? No, some of the holidays that we are used to in Jamaica or other parts of the Western world, they do not celebrate in Japan. Yeah, so try and get the holidays sorted out, you know. There's no emancipation celebration or independence celebration holiday in Japan, but chances are you may be on summer break at that time, you know, and probably some major cities hosting something for Jamaican celebration, but that's just part of the reality here. All right, cash is the most common payment method, and is even an option when you purchase online. So have your cash ready. Have your cash ready, you know, like seriously, have your cash ready. Fruits and vegetables are very expensive in Japan compared to what we're used to in Jamaica. Very expensive, and the variety that we are used to is not here. It's not here at all. All right, so prepare yourself, brace yourself mentally for that. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that and experimenting with new vegetables, in Japan, new fruits, you know, just really trying to broaden the palette, you know. But it's taking some time because somebody has to try these new things, right? So one final thing, remember that Japanese books for our reading material are designed to be open from left to right and read from right to left. I hope I got that right. If me never get it right, please bear with me, correct me, let me know in the comment box. Let me know or hear of some of the things that you have had to be trying to get used to, or really just can't go around or get around in Japan, you know, being a foreigner in Japan. This is Stacy in Japan. Wow, that was a lot of in Japan. Not true. This is Stacy in Japan saying God bless you. Bye.